What is up, y'all? Seabell here again, third time today, which was honestly very unexpected. I made a video this morning talking about a little bit about Paul George and his situation, but more so just about the free agency these last couple days as a whole. But I did kind of base it around the Paul George situation, and that was before the whole thing about him not opting in came out. Because in my mind, it made the most sense for him to opt into the contract with the intent to get traded somewhere. Because that way he wouldn't be capped on what teams he can and cannot go to, right? With him opting out of his contract, there are only 7 teams for sure he can go to, and maybe the Warriors, since Clay's probably going to be leaving. I think the Warriors are getting added to the list that have like cap room to sign him with for the contract that he's wanting. And those teams will be Philadelphia, OKC, San Antonio, Detroit, Utah, and Orlando. And out of those teams, I think there's only 3 real possibilities that I could see him going to. And obviously that's going to be Philadelphia, OKC, and Orlando. So for right now, just for right now, I'm taking the Warriors out of it. I'm going to talk about the Warriors situation at the end of the video. But for those, obviously Philadelphia makes a lot of sense. Just the trio of Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, and Joel Embiid. That's a really good trio. I mean, and then Philadelphia is still gonna have lots of cap space because they have like nobody on their roster right now. So if they make this move, they're definitely gonna have the ability to go out and sign more people in free agency and kind of build around that trio. Um, I think that would immediately make them a top 4 team in the East without even seeing like who they surround that trio with. And I think that would be a good fit. Honestly, I think that'd be a good fit. So I think I think that's probably a very high possibility that that's where he's going to end up. The next one with OKC, I don't really see this one happening personally. Um, I think that's just going to be too crowded, and I think the Thunder's front office is going to realize if we give Paul George this 4-year massive contract, how are we going to pay our young guys that are going to be needing to get paid in the middle of that, in like a year or two? And I don't think they want to get put in that situation, especially when they understand that Paul George is aging and how much is he going to contribute to both sides of the ball. So that one's a little bit more interesting to me in a sense of I don't think it's going to happen, and if it does, I will be quite surprised, honestly, quite surprised. Not that it's impossible, just personally I don't see it happening. And then the last one of those teams that he can go to, Orlando. This is my favorite one, just because thinking about their situation, Orlando is such a young team, and they already made the playoffs. I think as they were the 5 seed this year, I believe. And imagine, I know Paul George is gonna be aging, but he's still gonna be his game is gonna age well. I think. I mean, he's a pretty good shooter. He's a good shooter, good defender, and he has probably the smoothest handle for somebody that's his size. And then you add Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero to that, and they're getting better. So like it's kind of like he can kind of take a load right now, and then each year he backs off a little bit, and those younger guys step up and up and up. And also on defense, they have guys like Jalen Suggs, who's been getting after it. Jalen Suggs was amazing this past season. Like he's a dog. Jalen Suggs is a dog, man. He's getting after it game after game after game, hounding people. So I think that would be a great dynamic. And sorry, bug flying in my face. My apologies. But I think that would be a really interesting scenario, and that would kind of. I know he says he wants to stay on the West Coast, but if you're down in Orlando, it's kind of like you're living the life in Orlando, man. Like, come on, that'd be dope. And along with having those young guys that they have on the roster right now, they don't have to trade any assets for him, so they're gonna get their picks. They're gonna get to keep all of their picks. Whereas if he would have opted in the contract and then got traded there, they're having to give up pieces, they're having to give up draft picks, and that would diminish some of the value of him even going there. We see it all the time. Like, look at the Kevin Durant trades. Like, anytime he gets traded somewhere, that team has to give up everything to get him, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, with him opting out and him just being able to go there, they get to keep everything and keep on building and building and building and building. And that's exciting, man. That's exciting. So I would really like that scenario right there. And obviously, I kind of talked about it this morning. Um, but the Warriors situation, it, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't know how his play style is gonna mesh with the Warriors system, just because he's never been in such a fluid, like we're moving the ball a lot type of offense. It's always been like, okay, it's my turn, I'm going, your turn, you're going, stuff like that. So if he can adapt and get comfortable in the Warriors system of moving the ball, moving off the ball, coming off DHOs and stuff like that, I would love it. I think that'd be great. But I don't I don't know how serious that how well that will happen. But I do think it's quite possible that he's going to go there just because he does want to stay on the West Coast, and that's on the West Coast. It's not even that far from where he's living right now. I think it's like an hour and a half or so. So that's entirely possible. But regardless of where he ends up going, it's a I feel bad, man. I feel bad for the 76 or the Clippers because they gave up everything to get him on the team, man. Y'all remember that trade? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and like 10 first round picks. That's how the Thunder got all their picks. Trading Paul George to the Clippers, man. Like, I know at the time everybody's like, wow, they got fleeced. And then there was like a group of people saying like, no, we gotta wait and see because like if they win a championship, it's worth it. Well, it's over. They got fleeced. The Thunder won that trade 100%. So that's all I got. Thank you guys very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Twitter and podcast will be linked in the description. Make sure to check those out. And as always, join the conversation. Thank you.